What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I've got the wrong thing here. Oh dear, what is happening? Let me fix this one up right here, right now. In the right-hand corner of the map, everything is going as planned. We've got El Matador spawning in as the Red Ra here for game number 1. His opponent today in the blue color playing as Kronos. His name is the Rapple. The map is Giza. Now, we are currently in the losers finals. What does this mean for those of you playing at home? Well, it means that there are 2 more sets left in this tournament. There is this one, and there is the grand finals. Whoever wins this one goes on to face Kavoth for the crown, the Mythic Wars crown, and eternal glory as the first player not named the Mister to win an Age of Mythology Retold S-tier tournament. Relics on the map. Girdle of Hippolyta. Plus 10% hit points here for the ranged soldiers on the bottom side of the map. We've got Sistrum of Bast. Reducing the villager cost. Up here we've got Dar's Scepter here. Wooden gold cost minus 25%. Next relic up here we've got Harmonia's Necklace. Plus 10% for the gold gather rate. So nothing that screams out in this game that it's going to completely break things. So first thing to check here inside of the Rapple's base is he going for the crazy fast advance? Well, answer is no. He's already got 15 population. He's not advancing. You can very easily do a 15 population advance with Kronos, go for a crazy rush and try and make that work. Rapple's not going for that. He's obviously going to be going for something different here. Villagers getting houses up. Doing all the good stuff over here. A temple coming up as well for Matador. And we'll see where this game is going to lead us as Prometheus is going to be coming through. So no automaton stuff. He's going for a forward temple. Is this outside of the line of sight? Answer, yes. But Matador's base is incredibly well defended. One idea here for Rapple, if Matador's not fast enough, is to kill this hippopotamus out on this spot. This would hurt Matador. It looks like he's not going to be fast enough as Matador comes out and is going to bring that in. But he is very, very, very far behind this advance time of the Rapple. He's not defending his gold. He's not done anything here that is really, like, I don't know, productive in defending a rush. So this is a perfect situation for Rapple to get some damage in. However, the only place for him to attack is this position here. We did see a hero oracle. Got the villager already, or the oracle already ready to drop the town center. Rapple's 100% going for that. He's got a second mana up as well as the Prometheans are going to split up, searching around over into this main base for anything. The temple getting brought back home here, as well as this oracle sits holding Dar's Scepter. It is a nice relic there to have. As the Promethean coming through, deconstruction onto a temple is available here, and he will be dropping that down, trying to get a little bit of damage done, but Matador simply just jockeys around a little bit before retreating back. A little bit of a shanky shank looking to come through as well. Matador not even going to bother, looks like, dropping another temple in, as the Promethean's getting closer and closer to falling, almost sniping one villager, but it's not going to be enough. But huge amounts of idle time forced here in the early stages of this game. All the villagers pulling off now can just jump onto food for a little bit. He wants to get the town center up, it looks like. Even after all of this pressure is done and dusted, Rapple only now just starting up that town center. He also hasn't time shifted the mana over just yet to boost it up even more. I'm sure he's going to be going for that a little bit later as the Valors are coming through strong. Now, this is the game plan for Kronos in this matchup at the moment. The game plan is get yourself the second town center up as fast as you possibly can. Spam Valors. And we're looking for some sort of heroic age idea. Whether that's going to be Destroyer Arcus or it's going to be Murmillo Behemoth, or it's going to be Contarius Behemoth, or it's going to be some sort of Satyr angle. It all kind of depends on what the Ra player is going to sort of tech into. Now, Matador here going for his own second talent center. He does decide to go for a forward one. Now, this is good and bad. So, on the one hand, it's good for him because he's going to be able to launch off of this talent center and start putting some insane pressure over onto this talent center for Rappel, over onto this position of Rappel. But on the other hand, it also allows Rappel, or gives Rappel, a giant target to attack, which maybe, just maybe, Matador's not going to be ready for. It all is going to depend. We do see some obelisks getting set up nice and early here as the Oracle comes in, drops the relic in, grabs that Harmonia's necklace. Villager's going to be happily grabbing the gold. On the back here, military barracks coming up as well. So Rappel just wants to make sure he gets a couple of units out. I mean, this is kind of unnecessary to some degree for Rappel. His goal here is to get to the Heroic Age as fast as he possibly can, get Bosaw, get Shaft Mine as fast as he possibly can, while having all of these villagers getting heroized, and get a huge economy to then be miles in front of the Ra to try and get some initiative going. Building all these buildings means he's going to stay in the classical age for a little bit. Is there anything that he can really attack here is the big question. Matador sitting in his main base, getting berry bushes. Up on this position, Rhinoceros coming through. The food is already in for the Heroic Age. Temple up. Sphinx going to come through to help out. Now, the Memulos will be able to clean up some of these obelisks and sort of limit the vision of Matador. Take a quick look at what he's going for. Can't really see a whole lot. He is sitting now on top of this relic. He sees a nice relic, it looks like. He says, I want to grab that one. System Robust is nice. Would have loved to have that one just a little bit earlier, but grabs it nonetheless. And he's going to be moving forward here. As the Sphinx to motor on forward. Looking for a little bit of damage in here as he does snipe one Promethean offspring. And Rappel has to retreat back, heroizing a Mermilla hero. As the Heroic Age is going to come through really shortly. Now the question is, which one do you go for? Do you go for Sekhmet or do you go for Sobek? Farm coming down onto this position as well for Rappel, trying to set up for the future here. He's also got villagers happily over onto this gold mine. Does this get spotted? Answer, no. Does not get spotted. So Rappel gets over there nice and safely. And we are seeing just a little bit of an effort in to try and deny this back position. But at the moment, Matador doesn't care. He's got a lot of villagers on wood though. And he is going through Sekhmet. So no Pitsukos ideas at the moment. What does this actually mean? Well, this looks to me like he is going to be going for Chariot Archers, which is the slightest bits of odd, to tell you the truth, as this Sphinx is trying to cause some problems over here. Because you do have Terma, you do have Contarius, you do have Destroyer. There's lots of great units to build against Chariot Archers for the Atlanteans. As the Promethean offspring does get killed off again. Now, I mean, the next question is, can Matador get to a gold mine? Is he going to just go for a fast Mythic behind this? I mean, he's got so much wood in the bank. He can sell the wood if need be. But in reality, he's probably looking to try and get a Migdol up and get himself a gold mine here. The problem is, deconstruction exists. So there needs to be 2 Migdols to come down onto this position to actually defend it. As all the units that Rappel has built here going down, Hyperion is the god of choice. I think this is a mistake from Rappel. And one of the first big mistakes here in this matchup here from Rappel. He's played a nice little game thus far, but this one is going Hyperion. You go Hyperion generally when the Ra player is going for a classical fight. If the Ra player is going for Migdol units, you kind of want that rear. Rappel doesn't have that many oracles out, so he can't really make himself a huge amount of Satyr or a huge amount of chaos for example as well. We are seeing a couple of Camel Riders coming through. Now the double Migdols are up. This position will be nice and safe. as the Camel Riders to come through. He could turn around and snipe that Murmillo. No problems there. As Hyperion is in a couple of Catapulties to come through. And we are actually seeing Rappel saying, it's time for heavy cavalry. And Contarius, which is very wild, as Matador looks like he is already set to go at the moment. These villagers out of position here is a big weakness as well. Matador sees it and he says, let me just try and get in onto this position. I mean, Rappel could try and time shift in there's one citizen going down. Rappel could try and time shift in another mana here to try and keep all of this alive, but it looks like all of these units are going to start going down. But the Contarius are now starting to bring themselves in. Villagers popping out, trying to get that repair in. This hero citizens to retreat back home, getting away from the heavy cavalry. Camel Riders, excuse me. I'm still playing old school games. Chaos getting dropped down onto this position to allow Rappel to actually engage. And now Matador, he says, no, I want to stay here after this. I haven't lost that much HP. These are only Contarius. They're not that strong against my Camel Riders. And now Rappel, even after using that God Power, is the one who sort of needs to retreat here. Matador needs to be careful, though. These Catapulties do a lot of damage, but the Chariot Archers are there to clean them up. Rappel retreating back to the town center. There is a Scarab here. Do we see any sort of siege works up anywhere on the map? Answer no, but it's going to be a bone bow as well as, well, actually, no, there's not a second monument in for Matador either just yet. I'm sure he's going to start thinking about building them soon as he's on 0 favor, but that's going to mean he's not going to be able to get that big tech, the is it Force of the West Wind, which gives you that catapult in the Heroic Age. He's not going to be able to get extra Migdols either. And he barely is able to afford the bone bow. Behind all this, he did get himself Sacred Cats. So he does have a big food boost cooking. His economy is nice. In the lumber camp, he's also got that extra upgrade on the wood there. Adds a wet. As the Camel Riders now looking for a little bit of something to take out. Bronze Shield's now in. Rappel doesn't have all his eco ups, actually. He does start queuing up the Shaft Mine, but this is late. This is very, very late in this matchup, which it does mean that this is the reason why this game looks so close in terms of score. It's not that top position and that going down. It's because Rappel was quite a bit behind on those upgrades there. As the Camel Riders to charge in. There's a couple of priests behind this as well. That's going to be brutal as one Satyr does go down. Rappel trying to make Contarius Catapulties work here. And this is, simply put, a microfest. This is, simply put, a microfest as the Camel Riders charge forward. Chariot Archer is going to be pulling back. Matador's control is and always will be one of the best in the game. And Rappel here pulls those Contarius back beautifully as well. Camel Riders are going down quickly here. I'm actually surprised to see Matador taking this fight so confidently, but he looks like it's working out for him here. As Rappel's army is seemingly evaporating to the sheer numbers that Matador has managed to put out here. As all the Contarius falling, the Catapulties going down as well. Rappel needs to pull back. More Contarius, more Catapulties coming through. A refusal to... maybe a handful of Terma as well wouldn't go astray to try and take out the Chariots. Yes, you've got the Contarius, but he's got no upgrades for them, so maybe it doesn't make any sense. And he just has to continue to go through these sort of melee units for the time being. Meanwhile, another Migdol stronghold is up. Matador is spreading his influence on the map a ton. The siege works coming up onto the front. No, there it is. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have the favor just yet. He can just make some siege towers, which, while are a little bit difficult to get value with, if your opponent's got no units around them, they are fantastic at taking out those buildings. As citizens getting sniped down here. And Matador looks incredibly dominant at the moment, healing up the Scarab as well to add insult to injury. Citizens falling left, right, and center. As the Contarius now say it's time to get going. A couple of Camel Riders getting queued up, but not in the fight at the moment. Little bits of shoot and scoot micro here from Matador as Rappel says, I gotta go. I gotta kill off those siege towers, but the town center is falling anyways. Priests coming in to help out. They can actually heal up the Chariot Archers as well if they want. Meanwhile, Chariot Archers now in a beautiful choke point set up from those siege works there as the Scarab's still going to town on this town center. It will fall, but it's almost taken out. The siege towers can start thinking about rolling in there and finishing off the job. Rappel with very, very little remaining here. He's got 111 pop against 200. Citizens falling left, right, and center. The siege towers now in. Matador doesn't really need to care. He can sack the siege towers for villager kills here. He's got such a big advantage. But in losing the siege towers, he won't be able to finish off the town center just yet. Pulls back the siege tower all the way. He can use those priests if he wants to heal this one back up as well. But the pressure's still coming in. We do see a third town center on the way, but Rappel says he is too far behind and taps out. I mean, I think this all just came down to ordering to some degree. Like Rappel threw all these buildings down. He was super late to the heroic age here. When realistically, what's Matador going to be doing? It's a 10-minute heroic versus a 9-minute heroic, which is actually late for Matador as well, mind you. But Rappel here could have got to that heroic age so much faster, could have got that shaft mine, bow saw, even irrigation. Probably don't need irrigation. You've got all the goats in the world, so just delay that as long as you possibly can. And then from there, your economy is gigantic and you can actually start fighting the Egyptian player for a little bit. But he doesn't go for it. He goes for a little bit of panic play, trying to defend the food up the top. Was not going to work. And Matador gets game number 1 here with the Ra. We'll move into game number 2 and see if Rappel can make it work moving forward. Alrighty, game number 2 as we spawn in to Yellow River in the left-hand corner of the map. Everything is confusing me. Do I still have this on? Is this why it's confusing me? No, it's just because Matador is player 1, but he's also the red color. It's because it's because that's what's confusing me. He's Gaia, he's red, he's player 1, and he's in the left-hand corner of the map. Currently up 1-0 in this best of 7 series, mind you. I don't know if I mentioned that yet. In the right-hand corner of the map, playing as Ferrer, his name is Zirapel, and he is going to be, oh no. Don't look at it. Just don't look at it. Can we get a restart? Poor Rappel. Okay, he fixed it. He fixed it. It was probably about 20 gold. He fixed it. It might have been more than 20 gold. I mean, what can you do? What can you do? Alrighty, onwards and upwards. So we were talking about a little bit about this pre-game. So now that we see the map, we can actually start talking about it. So, this map here, the hard part for Gaia is effectively you can't just sit back and do nothing for the entirety of the game. If you do that, you will find yourself losing against Fred. The next hard part here is you have to get through not 1, not 2, not 3, but arguably 4 S-tier god powers to crack the Frere here. That's Gul and Bursty. That's Asgardian Bastion, which has been upgraded. Used to be a good god power, now it's insane. That's Tempest, and that's either Nidhogg or Inferno. Either one. Take your pick. So how do you do it? Well, first and foremost, if you can deny this town center and this town center and force this one to be the one that Rappel is going to grab, the Frere player is going to grab, all of a sudden, he's going to be able to grab this gold mine. He's going to be able to eat this hunt. That's fine. We're not looking for anything here. What we're looking for is, as the Gaia, is to deny this position here as best as possible. Because if he gets this position, then that secures this with some nice defensive buildings. Then he can start working up to this spot. He's even got Ghoul and Burst here to help over here to help this gold mine as well. So that's 2 gold mines he can help on. And worst case scenario is he gets a town center in the center of the map and gets access to 4 gold mines, which you really don't want. So I'm actually quite excited to see what Matador is going to come up with here. I do think you basically have to go for a town center as Gaia, but the real question is, does it matter which one? No. Because either you're going to get broken through and die anyways. If you fall behind, it's going to be tough. Or you're going to be able to sort of make this work and try and like win on his side of the map. So you're not too worried about sort of playing a nice defensive game here with Gaia. Now, there is a completely different world that Rappel lives in where he could say, hey, if you're going to go for 2 town center, that's fine. You go for 2 town center. I'm just going to go for a ram all in. And if you hold it, you hold it. If you don't, you don't. And we can move on to the next one nice and quickly. This is a best of 7. It's a lot of games to play. So maybe going for an aggressive strategy that is also good is better than going for the safe defensive strategy. We'll see what's going to happen here as Rappel, he does move forward here. He's scouting everything out. There is already the town center up and the Berserk here will spot it. Now, one thing here that Matador could have done is you could have dropped Carnivora and eaten the Berserk immediately. You can actually animation cancel it. However, he didn't go for it. The town center is spotted. Rappel knows exactly what he's facing right now. And I imagine he is going to immediately move to this town center. And that's exactly what he does. He doesn't even bother with a longhouse. We saw him do this against Kavoth, actually, in his game. Was it, I want to believe it was something versus Freyr. Odin versus Freyr, or Loki versus Freyr, or Thor versus Freyr. I can't remember. It must have been Odin or Odin or Loki. Anyways, he did this and he went straight for the town center without a single building. Loki versus Freyr. There you go. So this makes perfect sense here. It's going to keep Matador sort of not behind, but like not as in front as Peep really wants. The Hersa spreading out as well, like that little play, so that Carnivora doesn't get any value here. And the Caladria needs to just retreat back. Now behind this, what Matador's got now is he says, great, this is actually my game plan to some degree. Taking this town center is the one I want him to take. What does he actually see is the question. He sees nothing. Nothing. So he can't really have a game plan here. But what he can do is he can say, all right, you're not going to be coming to kill me. I'm not going to be coming to kill you. So it's time to grab Bowsaw, Shaft Mine. Think about Heroic Age potentially. If he goes through Rhea, he's going to have some pushing power. We do see a military barracks. Just get a little bit of pressure out onto the map. Rappel, on the other hand, if he gets some good scouting in now and sees what Matador's going to be up to, he could decide to move up to the top side and greed this town center out. The safe play is just to go to the Heroic Age for himself. And he drops the armory, and that's exactly what he's going to be doing. There's the Auroch to come through. Barracks coming down. Now, one thing I love here from Rappel is this something that only when you're playing at this sort of level do you start doing this sort of stuff. Is he says, I know I'm not going to get attacked just yet. I'm not going to get watchtowers. He might get bit in the bum here. It's such a small resource advantage. Take a look at how much this costs. 150 resources. Next to nothing. Such a small amount of resources. But Rappel is spending every little bit at the moment. So he doesn't need to worry about it. He's also eating berries on the front here, which is interesting. He does have Aurochs here as well, but deciding the berries. Meanwhile, a house coming up onto this side. Love that play. Going to be able to check out the town center. making sure there's no sneaky third town centers coming up. As all of the military barracks coming down, we are going to be seeing a handful of Murmillos actually coming through. But behind this, there will be most likely a heroic age. He hasn't put the armory down yet, but he's got the food. The gold's coming through as well. And again, we're not seeing these eco ups coming through from Matador, which, I mean, is it a mistake or not? I don't know. I feel like it is. I feel like it's really necessary for Guy to have this. It's just like in the last game, it was really necessary for the Kronos to have it as well. But we're going to be seeing a really quick heroic age behind all of this. As another house comes down, there's a couple of units just going to sit here playing defense. And sitting here waiting, watching as a couple of units to start attacking from Rappel. And a marker to get dropped down is going to be completely fine. As Rappel says, hey, if you're not going to be like, if you're going to be chasing out heroic age, I'm going to come and stop you. As a couple of Murmillos, they are now getting queued out. Reactionary is the name of the game here at the moment, it looks like, for Matador. The villagers here can turn around and start joining in onto this fight. Great control from Matador with the Hero Murmillo on the back here. He does have the Carnivore. He does have the Gaia Lush, but he's got no answers for these medium throwing axemen. As Carnivore does get dropped down, we'll be able to snipe down one villager there immediately. The way he does that is he drops it, clicks it, uses the special ability immediately and manages to, removes a little bit of the animation there. As the Caladria coming in, Hero Murmillo trying to dodge around here. Look at all the Murmillos in the bank right now. Matador is panicking a little bit here, it looks like. But the overwhelming amount of units here for Matador might be enough, but he is fighting against the wrong type of unit as the Caladria pacify a huge amount here. The Hero Citizen also in is going to be a big help, but not fighting just yet. Now starting to shank. And now all of a sudden, El Matador doesn't have his heroic age, doesn't have his timing, and is in a struggle town. He now throws down a counter barracks. But Rappel has claimed all of the time, the initiative, the everything in this game. And to be completely honest, all of this could have been prevented with one wall. With one Gaia Forest. Rappel would have been bashing away to military barracks. You say, no worries. We're going heroic age. And he would have been completely fine. Instead, a huge amount of Murmillo come out. Not going to be used for anything here. Aegir is going to be coming through very, very shortly as well. And the game continues. A couple of economic guilds to come up as well. We are going to be seeing that frontline heroics tech to come through as well as Rhea. This is the game plan for, I think, I think people have laughed at me about this, but I think this is the only realistic game plan for Atlanteans at the moment, considering how defensive the game is, to get yourself a ridiculously expensive, strong army, which is effectively fully heroized, fully upgraded units. And you get very, very cheap Murmillos, heroes with the frontline heroics tech. Meanwhile, units moving up to the top side. We see houses coming here as well. Rappel's getting himself the Great Hall. Another Great Hall over here as well. Now going to be seeing the Caraballas coming through. As Aegir just about to pop. But at the very least, there will be a huge amount of Gaia Lush getting spread. Now, one thing here to remember is make sure you build your dock on this map. You get yourself free Kraken or free Nereid. The Nereid is actually going to be one-hitting units. What's the speed buff for the Lush? 15%. 15%. But, oh, he does have it. As Asgardian Bastion is going up in the middle. This is not what Matador wants. Matador cannot allow this settlement to go up, and it's up. Rappel has basically just secured himself this gold mine, this gold mine, this gold mine. This one's a little bit funky, but that's enough gold to last him an eternity in this game. As Oracle Mel comes through, Rhea's Gift comes in, Flood Control coming through as all the farms will come down. Upgrades are coming in as well as a docks to come down for Rappel to boot here. And Matador kind of just needs to stare at this. Now, what else can he do? Mythic Age? Implode? Mythic Age Hecate? Distracting on one area, forcing out maybe a Golden Bursty to defend the Tartarian Gate, and then you can attack. Then you still got Aegir to worry about. You got Trader for a Rock Giant, which is big, as the Behemoth tanking up on the charge forward. The Rock Giant is here. He traders that one in there as well, as the Rock Giant gets a huge taunt. Golden Bursty gets called down. Going to be able to immediately erase that Behemoth. The Asgardian Hill Fort will be very, very safe. Matador retreats back. But how many of these units can he realistically get out of the Tempest? He gets stuck onto the Kraken as well, trying to pull all the way back. He's getting some more military barracks up over here. There's now Matador. Still huge amounts of Murmillos here. He is behind a very, very big way. Rappel says, it's my time to go here. As the Berserk, the Hersa charging in, one citizen goes down. There is no Carnivora. All the thrown axemen is more than enough to take out these Murmillo here. Caraballister to get taken out. Murmillo's going down as well. The population differential is 100 to 50 here. And Matador, simply put, has not got enough stuff here to defend what Rappel has. More Caladria coming in. Matador trying to fight here. It's 3 town centers to 2 town centers. It's 90 villages to 79, but those are Atlantean citizens as well. And the next move here for Rappel, I mean, he can do whatever he wants realistically, but the next move for Rappel that makes the most sense is just to come up to the top here and actually claim this position here, this town center, and that locks Matador from gold for the rest of this game. There is 2,000 gold there as well, but that's going to be gone very, very shortly. There's Rappel. Rappel, what is he doing? Kill the Caraballister. Kill it. Yes! Take it out! There it goes. There's the portable rams onto the top side, taking out military buildings, taking out manors, being all sorts of painful there. Mythic Age now queued up as well for Rappel, as he has taken his time to try and take Matador out of this game. Caladria's doing what they do best. They're healing everything up, but it's 170 pop to 200. A Gaia Forest getting dropped down at the top, well, somewhere, as a town center is going up onto this position, actually. But there's still no real answer here for Matador against these thrown axemen. Because Matador does actually decide, or Rappel here does actually decide to retreat back. Matador losing all of his military yet again. He's got huge amounts of units in queue. But it is looking very, very grim for Matador at this point. The portable ram starting to break through all these buildings. See that one heavy Murmillo is getting a huge amount of value slapping down the portable ram over here. And as the game continues along, every single time this is off cooldown, it's almost as if Rappel is just going to continue to click it up. He doesn't even need to. He can just make his own ones And everyone he has is healing his army up. He can just sit here, heal back up to full HP. He can bring some Huskarl back over to get the town center. He can get himself fully upgraded units. He doesn't have to overcommit to anything. I mean, we know that he can. He's got so many more resources, so much more than what Matador has. But he also knows that his win condition here is just to get to the Mythic Age. Is just to get all these upgrades in. And he's about to get everything spent. Drops the Inferno down, runs straight over all the units, straight into the towns, and a huge explosion. Great control from Matador to keep all the villagers alive there. As all the farms exploding as well, the citizens to repair the towns and to back up. But in that moment, Matador does agree. He is way too far behind. Taps out, and game 2 goes to the Rapple. I mean, this game here, I don't know what would have happened if Matador got to do his game plan. But Matador's game plan went down the toilet from one decision. One decision alone was to not wall off this position. If he had this walled, he gives himself, I don't know how much time. He had watchtowers. He could have dropped a watchtower here as well, give him even more time. But he was trying to min-max it, didn't put the wall down, tried to get to the heroic age, got caught, and from that one moment, Rapple took everything. Let's get into game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. See how it's going to go. Hope you guys are enjoying. Make sure you hit the follow button. If you're on the Twitch, on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button as well, so you don't miss out on any content. I'll see you in the next one. Alrighty, game number 3. And we spawn into Gold Rush. Gold Rush, the map. Matchup. Left-hand corner of the map. Hades for Matador. Right-hand corner of the map. Noir for the Rapple. And Rapple opens up with something a little bit funky here. Just a little bit. He goes for the super early creation. And this has to be the slightest sigh of relief for Matador. The slightest sigh of relief for Matador. Why? Well, the big reason is because now there's no tower rush on the board. Not that a tower rush should be super effective against the Hades Sentinels, but anyways, he doesn't have to think about it. Like legitimately like a barracks getting thrown up over here. If we put Sentinels onto the town center here, like, I mean, it probably would be able to kill the villagers putting the thing up. Anyways, my point is he doesn't have to think about it. He doesn't have to worry about it. It's not on the cards any longer. Now, great question in the chat here from long-time listener, first-time chatter. No, I'm just kidding. Ragnarox. He asks, what's the point of using it so early? The only thing that I can think of is that Rapple is going to be skipping his hero. Never mind. I don't have anything. I can't help you out. I don't have a good answer for you. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Someone explain it. I've got nothing. Effectively, if you use it in the classical age, you're going to be able to get double the amount of resources, so it's just doubly as good. This advance time here from Rapple is... Wait, did he get an upgrade? No upgrade. No temple. Did he get an extra dude out? Maybe getting an extra pioneer out where you otherwise wouldn't be able to afford it. Makes some sense. That could be one angle, right? One angle for the Noir. Anyways, we'll see how things are going to go, because Matador's game plan here is probably pretty simple. Unfortunately, screws up with the boars as he has to drop a granary down now. Still not advancing. He's going for a very... Wait, does he... This is so late for Matador. This is like I don't care levels of late. So basically the advance time for Hades nowadays is 15 pop. I don't even think this is going to be a 17 pop advance time. And what's the problem with this? Well, the problem, as far as I'm concerned, is if you're going to go for a 2 town center play, which maybe Matador isn't going to go for, but if you're going to go for a 2 town center play, the faster advances, the better. That's as simple as it is. If you're going to go for a 2 town center, the faster the advance, the better. The faster the town center completes, the better. Skipping hand axe or skipping pickaxe for that faster town center is a good thing. However, if you're going to stay 1 town center, which we very well might be seeing here, a little bit of a later advance doesn't really matter all that much. So, we'll see how it's all going to go as the Katoskopos here trying to steal some goats away, not able to, and we are indeed seeing Ares. So a very quick town center for the Rapple. And he is going to have to figure things out very, very quickly in this game. Because this is not, I don't think this is going to be some normal, it might be. I mean, it's looking like he's almost got the gold and the wood for the town center, but he also needs to get himself out at Achilles as well. The Chillin causing some problems over here. Nice little raid. As the villagers just simply moving back over onto the wood line. Get a couple of nudges onto the villagers as they get back to work. And indeed, Matador moving over here, and I'm back to being confused because he's just dropping a town center. All right. You know, I love to... No, he's not. It's a house. It's a bait. He's just he's baiting me and he's baiting Rapple. Nope, he's going for the town center. Guys, I think he's going for the town center here. So... oh, dear. Well, like I said, the faster the advance time with a town center coming up immediately, the better. But things not going so crash hot for Matador here in this early stage of the game. This is big advantage for the Rapple, and in classic the Rapple fashion, he is going in. He's already spotted the town center. He doesn't need to risk it here for the biscuit. There's an Achilles. There's an Ajax. Just stay away from it. Keep running around with the Chillin. Get some shenanigans in there and see what's going to happen. Meanwhile, Divine Books coming in. Divine Books is a technology which makes your attachments cheaper. I think it's both of them from memory. So your tower attachments, let me just I can't double check it. Tower attachments and the speedy building attachment as well. And what makes it so good is all of a sudden you can play a really, really insane reactionary game. You don't have to build a single unit until your opponent builds a unit. And as soon as you see that unit, then you can start pumping stuff. You don't have to do anything. It's a really, really cool reactionary sort of way of playing China. As the Chillin here getting sped walked to safety. Pioneer comes through. As long as it doesn't get snared first, he can speed walk it away. He misses the Pioneer though. As a Dow Swordsman to come through, turns around with a Chillin here. He's starting to take huge damage. You can't be losing this bad boy. Does manage to snare it up for just a little bit of time here, but that Achilles has a mission. As the Dow Swordsman comes through, getting a little bit of damage, but it looks like in the end there, it will fall. And then he can just simply run. He's out of there. No problems. All the buildings up now, and I almost don't need to go and look. Matador's going to the heroic age, no? That's a market, and that's going to be a heroic age. And he also does drop the walls here as well. The problem that he's got, he doesn't have that much food in his main base. He's got berries left, almost sniping a village over here. Not able to do so, almost losing the Achilles. He might try and circle back for that one though. As Rapple already in the center of the map, trying to just lock this down. But Matador here, he's got two options now. He can try and go Aphrodite for Curse to break this and drop a fortress down. Or he can go Underworld and put it wherever he wants, be as safe as he wants, and have a great game. As the Achilles coming through. Will he spot that villager making a run for it? Answer, no. The villager is safe. The villager is secret. And the villager will be happily living out her life, at least for a little while, as a berry farmer. There's a couple archery ranges now up. Military academy, watchtowers to come through. There's not really any need for any sort of production of units just yet. Great building placement here from Matador as well. Almost loses the villager. Needs to retreat back. No ballistics in the classical age, so can't finish off that villager anyways. Now watchtowers is up. Could drop in the sentinels here, but he really doesn't want to. Rappel is trying his hardest to force out sentinels, but in reality, he wants them for one thing and one thing alone: the center of the map. I see Ajax and Achilles coming over here. Houses going down. Another archery range to get dropped in. Toxotes now starting to come through. Pioneers going down, trying to get max value out of next to nothing here. As more units are pumping in. And Matador, he might be in a little bit of trouble here. Rappel, his game plan, it's not to kill Matador here. It's to have enough units out that he can pick off a fortress that goes up. That he can stop any sort of fortress shenanigans in the center of the map. We'll see if he's going to be able to make it happen or not. Houses going down. There's still next to no population out for Matador. He doesn't have an aggressive god power either. Toxotes getting queued up into the archery range. Will be going down. The watchtower here is getting a significant amount of damage done on to these units. There's a couple of units running straight onto the town center, getting melted. Couple of javeliniers in as well. But the thing I think right now for Matador that he has to have in the back of his mind is, okay, if this is going to be a huge amount of units here, we've got time. A huge amount of time, to be completely honest. He doesn't need to go super quickly into the center of the map with an underworld. Rappel retreats back and says, all right, damage done. Walls going up everywhere. There is a Pegasus. Archers coming in. It's very tense right now. Sky lanterns going everywhere. Rappel sees everything. I'd love to see him throw down a tower or a building and get some attachments, get some watchtower attachments in the center of the map. His game plan right now is very all in. He is going to be sitting in this center. He is going to be trying to hold this. He might be able to get to the heroic age. But then again, there is also Pestilence in the bank, so putting towers down doesn't work either. There's still tons of gold left in this main base. More than enough to get Matador up to full population. Rappel on the other hand. 1, 2, 3, chilling. The walls going up all over the place as sky lanterns continue. The Pegasus floating through, trying to find something here. Does he go after a town center? That's got to be a bait. Ktoskopos coming over here as well. Matador scouting everything out. What does he see? It's absolute chaos for Matador. This was not his game plan, I don't think. This is something very different from Rappel. Doing something very strange. And in these moments, adapting and figuring out what the right call is. The army is so out of position here. The time to go is now. As a Hypaspist starts to move forward. The army wanders up here. Rappel is baiting. He drops the underworld. He's going for it. He sees the villagers vanish, gets dropped. Villagers sneaking into the center of the map. The Chillin not in... Well, they are in position. They're simply moving back and forth. As Matador will finish off the market here, but he needs to run. The plan here is probably get out, distract, get into the center, and drop this fortress here As the Chillin here trying, he's going to retreat through the underworld passage as the Terracotta Riders comes in. All the Chillin fall to the Chiron. The fortress coming up, and Rappel's plan to deny the center of the map to Matador falls through with a brilliancy from Matador. The underworld distracting the army away, and now fortress is up. And the game, does it grind to a halt? Or can Rappel push through here? There's a temple coming up. The fortress is in. The temple does have Temple of Healing. Sentinels can get dropped here. Matador going to be taking out Siege, the Machine Workshop as well. That's going to be some big problems, as now we've also got immediately 2 Petropolis to come through as well to clean everything up. The Terracotta Riders going down immediately as the Cyclops says, I want to get involved. As he's going to be retreating back. And look at this. Look at that HP coming up for the Manticore. I love this. I love this technology so much. It's a huge amount of HP. Building's going to be falling. Rappel is up to 3 town centers though. He's still in the center gold. The problem is he grabbed all of his home base gold mines. He could have grabbed an entire gold mine in the center and saved like 3,000 gold for the main base to give him some more time. Matador retreating back out. Good snipes here with the Peltast. Great control actually from Matador, sort of spacing Rappel a little bit there. Rappel now to the heroic age through Russia, but he does have 3 town centers. The problem here is he needs siege. He needs siege to kill off the Petropolis. Can't really fight here underneath the fortress. Wouldn't be surprised to see more military buildings or defensive structures coming through here shortly for Matador. And there he goes with another one. He's also got the favor for more sentinels to boot here. As the silos going down as well. Absolutely brutal. With this fortress going down, he says, oh, I got to get going here. There is going to be access to Fae Beast. He drops that one down. As we'll see if Matador can hold this position or not. As the villager's trying to finish it up, he wants this one for the Sentinels. Even if it gets up with 500 HP, he's going to be able to get that Sentinels down. He's probably trying to spam it there, and he does get it through. So it's going to be a huge amount of DPS here for Matador, but is it enough? Where's the siege for Rappel? Not in just yet. Gilded Shields coming through. Dow Swordsman coming in as well. And it's looking like Rappel has got such a huge military advantage that it doesn't even matter that the fortress is here. Doesn't matter that this fortress came up over here. These Peltats not that useful against all of those Dow Swordsmen. The Chillin's falling, however, and all of a sudden the fortress will start getting some serious damage done. The Peltast also in over here with good micro. Matador garrison into the fortress and hold on this spot. More Toxotes coming in. The Hypaspists not quite in just yet. Running for the fortress for the time being here. Villagers on this gold mine going to start going down. Matador has no gold left in his main town center. But more units are going to be streaming in to this position as it looks like Rappel is going to be able to overpower the Hades defenses here. Actually, what's this Baihu doing? The Baihu's actually living inside of the fortress as well. Oh, he jumps out. He's had enough. And now Rappel retreats back up. He's got all the upgrades for his Dow Swords. Look at the pierce armor in these bad boys. 50% pierce armor at this point. More chillin'. starting to come through. Mythic Age will come in relatively shortly as well. The Rappel pulls back and he gives Matador a little bit of breathing room here. The villagers are going to come forward. He is behind on villagers a lot. And look at this from Rappel. Rappel says, hey, if you're not going to take this, I will. He can actually set up a market now. Go for that trade route as well, just in case. There's also the siege crossbow here to try and break through. There's a manticore coming in. And Matador just can't squeeze out an army anymore. He just doesn't have the resources. The gold is gone. He doesn't have a trade route. His fortress still standing here after all of this. And Matador in that moment does tap out. And he's not able to hold the Rusho push. A very, very nice strategy here from Rappel. Matador managed to get into the center, but he overstepped his boundary with this second fortress here. Maybe a little bit too far forward. If he put it even just a little bit back here, then all of a sudden, Rappel has to walk in underneath the other fortress to actually start taking it out. And maybe, just maybe, Matador is able to continue that fortress creep forward and get full control of this. So the slightest bits of greed here from Matador give Rappel the edge. Nonetheless, if you guys enjoyed this game, please consider the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit the subscribe button. We'll get into game number 4. It is a best of 7, so that means first to 4. So it's still going to be a huge amount of games left going. And we'll see how it's going to go. And we're back with game number 4. In the right-hand corner of the map, Matador playing as Loki. In the left-hand corner of the map, Rappel playing as Zeus. We're on the map Silk Road. As the trading post, the trading post gets to, the blue is there. But also the Berserk is here. The spire goes down. And the Berserk is going to have to move over to this left one as Rappel's Kataskopos being spied is big here for Matador. But Matador doesn't go for the other trading post. Where is he going? You just got to follow the road. Just follow the road. They give you the path to the thing. Oh, there it is. Oh my God. When anybody asks me, what do you think about gimmick maps? I say, you know what, they're fun. You're going to see some interesting things. It's going to be great. And then you get to see Matador opening 2 extra ox carts, and he steals the bloody trading post away. And as Rappel moves forward to try and grab it back with his temple. How long does it take to pay itself off? Well, the ox cart costs 50. The build time is about 15 seconds. So it's about 65 resources. He does hit the ox cart away, so he gets the trading post back. So it probably takes about 2 minutes. 2 minutes and 10 seconds to pay itself off. But the mental factor, the mental factor, that's the big one. As Rappel is now advancing through Athena, getting to The second age is really, really important with these trading posts. Getting to the second age is really, really important with the trading post because it means you get an extra 1 resource on each of the trading posts, which is a big deal. There's a temple coming up for Matador. He is going to be late here. There will be a Minotaur popping out as the villager wanders around. This will be wanting to drop a barracks down over here. Such a silly game. This is such a silly game. You might say that he forced the temple out, but I'm pretty sure that the temple this isn't forced. This is what Rappel wants to do. He wants to be in the center of the map here. Nonetheless, military academy coming down. Minotaur going to be wandering up here to try and take out this ox cart that is going to just continue to run around this bloody trading posts. Okay, the Minotaur is in. Wait, he can't headbutt it, but it will go down. It will go down, and then all of a sudden, another trading post over to Rappel's clutches. So, he gets through the silliness of the ox cart spammage. You never thought you'd have seen it. Can't bolt an ox cart, can ya? No. Meanwhile, the Jason also takes this position as a Hersir pops out. Jason can just turn around and fight. It's not a bad idea to just bolt one of these, to be completely honest here, but he doesn't go for it. Maybe saving it for a troll or something. I don't know. Is he going to? We do see the Heracles is now coming through. A great haul coming down onto this back position here. But this is a nice big timing for Rappel as he's now going to start getting himself out the hoplites. He gets himself through a stable as well. The troll goes down, and Matador, he's not going to be able to hit his timing here. The timing which Loki, or the slight timing which Loki has on Greek is around about 5 minutes to 6 minutes, where you've got 4-ish Hersir out, you've got a couple of throwing axemen out, you've got more Hersir on the way. Meanwhile, into the main base, the Minotaur coming through. Did he get a villager pick? I don't think he did. Anyways. The hoplites are in, trying to get damage done. There is going to be a healing spring that can get dropped at any point here. And as good as Matador's strat was, it did not work out. Well, I mean, of all the games that I've ever seen in a tournament, that was 100% one of them. Hope you guys enjoyed the hilarity of Oxcart fight night. We might see Oxcart fight night again. We might not, but we'll move into the next one. Hope you guys are enjoying. It's currently 3-1 right now for Rappel. 1 win from getting his rematch against Kavoth. We'll see if he can make it happen. Alrighty, we are now into game number 5. It's 1-4. What happened here? I swear I fixed this, but I didn't. All right. Okay, in the right-hand corner, we have Matador playing as Thor. And in the left, we've got Rappel playing as Odin. So the map is Ghost Lake. Rappel is 1 win from going to the finals here. And he's on his main god. And he is against Matador, who is also on his main god in a lot of different ways. Matador is a Norse player through and through. But, I mean, you're playing against one of the OGs right now. Rappel has played his fair share. His fair share of Odin. His fair share of Odin versus Thor over the years as well. Now, this is an interesting map and matchup. Now, one of the things that I think is the most interesting is this dynamic now with, and you guys might laugh, but this dynamic now with what Ragnarok is. We're probably going to see, I imagine we're going to be seeing a little bit of a defensive early game here, a little bit of containment, maybe a fast second town center from Rappel with some nice early walls. If you can come up and grab this one, for example, if Matador is going to be sitting at home, I wouldn't be surprised to see Rappel grab a nice quick town center in this matchup and Matador go for the big dwarf spam. And if that does end up happening, I mean, Matador, he could go and try and break the town center, one town center play, try and break the town center. We've seen that before. But then again, Rappel could defend it. And then if he goes into a 2 town center thing where Matador tries to chase and then everything sort of equals out in terms of economy, then, maybe we would see the Ragnarok. People are saying reside in the rock. Come on. We've seen Ragnarok winning tournament games before. Let's not pretend. Matador was one of the players who managed to do it as well, right? He beat Kivov with the Ragnarok in this very tournament as well. And that was before it was buffed. So where there's a will, there's a way. Let's take a look at these little relics here. We've got the Zhurang over here, making the wall regen +10. Over on this side, we've got the Eye of Horus. Population cap +4. Up on this side, we've got Ring of the Nipalung. A little bit of extra gold income there. And at the bottom of the map, we do have Eye of All. Ooh, this is a big relic. This relic is very, very, very important, I think. +5% of base for the Apaspist and Axeman is kind of huge. So we'll see how things are going to go. Temple coming up for Matador. House is coming up over here as well. And it is going to be Freya. And I mean, I would be a little surprised to see Matador go for Forseti, but it does kind of make sense. Freya would be the thing that you'd expect. There it is. You'd expect Freya over Forseti. Why? Well, the cavalry seem to be somewhat necessary. But that being said, are they? I'm not actually sure if they are anymore. Because you just get watchtowers and you just get crenellations, and the cavalry they can't really raid anymore. But we are going to be seeing both players going for Freya. I mean, you do have access to the Valkyries, which can raid even through the towers. So that is one thing to keep in the back of your mind. So maybe that's why it's happening, is the Valkyrie will be moving across the map, and we are going to be seeing a great haul. So Rappel is not going for that fast second town center here. If he's going for a great haul, if he goes for a long house, he might, but not going to be happening. One house does get a little spotted there as the Raven flies in. I wouldn't mind seeing Rappel dropping forest fire on this forest here. It's already on fire for one, but for two, this forest is really well protected. If you burn this, all of a sudden these two forests aren't that easy to defend. As the villagers all just pulling back, gonna jump onto the snow pine. And Rappel will have to get out of here. It doesn't take any damage really onto the Valkyrie. And he is out. So no problems. Double Great Hall's out now as the raiding cavalry are going to be on the move. Longhouse coming up. And from here, the massing starts. One Longhouse. One Great Hall. Ursa to get built, not just yet. Huge amounts of resources just to confirm. Matador, he's got himself 3 extra villages from the armory, but he's had a little bit of problems with the actual production, I think. As a Ursa on the front getting taken down. And keeping these units alive is key, because you do have a Valkyrie. The Valkyrie can heal all these guys up, so it's got to be careful. A couple of goats getting stolen away here as well. There's a raiding cavalry yet again trying to take out the Ursa here. Little bits of damage from Rappel. He's really good at this, but one raiding cavalry kind of getting caught out. Does manage to pull. Will survive. There's more raiding cavalry grouping up onto this position, ready to start moving across the map. Walls coming up as well. Onto the top position. And now The raiding cavalry say, it's time to say nighty-night to these caribou. Why is he doing this? Well, take a look at this favor again. He gets a hefty amount of favor. It means he's able to go into more Valkyrie. Able to get himself the extra upgrade for the Valkyrie to boot. Very, very strong. All of those things good. But Matador, on the other hand, he's coming into the main base. He's looking for a little something, but Rappel's base is already very, very defensive. What Matador could do is just kill off his own hunt on this corner as well if he likes to. There's the wall getting beaten down. Oh, if he knocks the wall down over here, he was going to be able to make it explode, right? Is that how that works? I think it is. Explode? No, never mind. I'm stupid. It's only the segments that explode. Is that right? Segments explode. There's a long house up here. We'll start to get taken out. Forest Fire gets dropped down. Almost going to take out a throw on Axeman. And we'll finish off the long house as well. Nice little Forest Fire. I mean, you get a very small amount of value out of the God Power unless you use it really, really well. And this is just going to open up the base a little bit as Rappel says, I need to get in here. I need to get something done. I got myself medium cav. One raiding cavalry goes down over here. As the raiding cavalry up onto this side say, I better take this hunt away from Rappel so that at least we're not falling behind on that. There's now Thundering Hooves to come through. In the main base, however, Matador is about to be out of gold. And this is what Rappel wants. Rappel wants Matador out of gold, Matador to use Dwarven Gold Mine here, and for him to just continue putting pressure. Meanwhile, the villagers up onto this position there. He loses one. That's huge. And then he gets out. But Matador, he still has to get out of this position without losing too much. The wall's coming up too little too late. Rappel has to pull back over here onto this position. The temple goes down. That's a big win for Rappel. But Matador with that villager kill, that'll pay that off in a hot minute. Or three. As Matador will sneak out here. He doesn't need to stay much longer. Over here, Matador moving through the middle of the map. He's taking a huge amount of damage. One raiding cavalry goes down. A second raiding cavalry to go down as well. And all of a sudden, no, villagers won't get finished off there. The raiding cavalry will just simply retreat back. Almost gets a Vil kill, but not able to do so. Game is very, very much in the balance here as the Dwarven Mine gets thrown down. That's an extra 1,000 gold before Matador needs to leave his base. If we take a look at this gold mine, it's about to be done. The walls up here are huge. If Rappel can finish these walls off, then he can focus on trying to prevent any sort of second gold mine from coming in. There's already 2 Valkyrie armory upgrades for Rappel. How is he going? He's getting himself a couple. He does have Skadi pre-queued. Knows that Matador might want to just go to the heroic age himself. Doesn't have the favor for another gold mine, so it's not that big of a deal. The food is in. Not really pumping units out for the time being. Making a couple of raiding cavalry, though. As the walls sit, not quite finished up. Needs to get that one as well. But the villagers will be able to come over to here. No problems once that gold mine is finished. Rappel's still trying to get some good damage done over here. Villagers now idle. They're going to have to make that move. As Rappel to retreat back. He does make that move. His raiding cavalry going to be getting a little bit of an engagement here. The armory upgrades, are they equal? Not really. He's missing a couple weapons, so he can't really take the fight. Both players have got Thundering Hooves. A couple of Herdmen now starting to come through for Rappel to help out. Herdmen plus raiding cavalry should be a good fight here. There's a huge amount of Valkyrie for Rappel here, but the military population for Matador is gigantic. As Rappel needs to pull behind the wall, we see Forest Fire to come through. Matador sees his opportunity to pounce. Rappel needs units. Matador's got the advantage here. He's charging in. The villagers are in here. The army to swing in onto the back position. Rappel taking the fight a little bit too early here. As the raiding cavalry, however, do come through. Great pullback there with the own raiding cavalry from Matador. As the villagers getting pulled. 67 pop to 95 population here. The red army of Matador looking terrifying. Can Rappel hold? 47 to 75. He's still pumping units. He's got the Valkyrie. He's got raiding cavalry coming. How many Valkyries does he have, though? 3 to 2. It's not going to be enough. Matador breaks through the defenses of Rappel. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going to a game number 6. But Rappel pulling back. He's going to continue to keep fighting. The gold mine over here will go down. There is a gold mine on the other side. If Rappel wants to sort of hide off into the corner or something, you can try that out. But he's not going to be able to stay on this gold mine for very long. Just the Great Hall goes down. The house goes down. Matador does see the gold villagers over there. Rappel trying to distract. He's going to send a couple of units over just to start harassing. The Valkyrie pulling over there as well. More Valkyrie coming through for Matador. Rappel, on the other hand, only 5 villagers on food at the moment. Wait, that's wrong. 20 villagers on food at the moment, but he has no food in the bank. He does say in that moment, time to tap out. And Matador does manage to take the game, converts it. One decisive fight, and the game is over there. Really well played from Matador. Nice, cool, calm, collected, while on match point, and Rappel putting heavy pressure on. This game was on a knife's edge, but for whatever reason here, Rappel just couldn't get his military pop up to Matador. That's the difference. 900 and copper weapons. I think if Rappel had copper weapons here and maybe 100 less, maybe the fight could have gone a little bit better for him. Let me actually look at the resource income there at that point. So at 1135. 1135. It's about, 1200 resource differential is literally that difference. It's copper weapons. It's that 900 military value. Anyways, let's get into game number 6. Game number 6. Matador. Fushi and Rappel as Shenong. As we continue along here. Rappel is still 1 win from the finals. Matador has brought it back. He still needs another win before it all goes his way. He is on the edge. We see a matchup that is very interesting. Shenong and Fushi. Now, why is it interesting? Well, I think the big reason is, as we do see a very nice little start here from Matador. Oh, is that? I think this might have been a slight misplay. I think he could have secured both the towers by literally putting this in the middle here. No? Anyways. Why is it interesting? Well, first and foremost, what Matador has early is the ability to lock off these town centers. But Rappel does have himself access to... He has a military advantage on those town centers because he's got access to Neja. But Rappel has got access to Hal too. So he can just walk over here, put a house, put the wall down, and he's good to go. He's good to go. Alternatively, he can also not do that and just put 2 farms down on the town center and then use himself this technology or this god power here, Prosperous Seeds, and he can secure this town center. It's a great town center as well. It's got some balls he can drag in. Happy days. But that's not where it ends. If you do go for a second town center here with Shenong, you get a lot more favor, you get some more myth units, but maybe Matador can go for a 1 town center all in. Alternatively, if Matador wants to do the same and go for his own town center here, sure, he could do it. But Rappel could go for the one town center all in. Alternatively, we could just see both players playing a very, very defensive boomy game. Safe, calm, collected, and then go from there. What happened with Rappel? Oh, Rappel is just connecting everything. Okay, he's put houses oh, God, he got so unlucky here. Sometimes you can get the towers, or not sometimes. Literally in this game, take a look. No? No, none of the towers. Both players got unlucky. Okay, never mind. Sometimes you can get lucky, I guess. Sometimes you can get unlucky, and it looks like these guys got unlucky. The towers can connect to each other, so you don't have to connect them all up like this, but nonetheless, this is what's going on. And all the other good stuff. There's Chiyo going to be coming through for Maddie. No real surprises here. This is, well, I mean, maybe going for Vanish is completely fine here as well. But then you have to deal with the Yodesla somehow. If you've got your own Yodesla, then you can deal with your opponent's Yodesla, right? But both players are going to be going for this one. Villagers now moving over onto this. Wood, gold. Rappel leaves only 2 villagers on the food. And Matador does the same thing. So both players have got a similar idea. Cooking here. For what it looks like actually for Matador, though, is it looks like he wants to go for a pretty quick... Is he going for it? He's getting himself out an extra Yodesla. I'm a little confused. Gets himself a relic. Black Lotus on the other side. Feather of the Fang. Ooh, some spiciness. But the Yodesla are going to be coming through. There's already a free Yodesla out actually for Rappel as well, as he does see this one diving into the main base. But this is a little bit dangerous as this Yodesla is sort of glitching out, trying to dive in onto the other one there. Got to be careful of the villagers. But 2 Yodeslas in hot pursuit will be a little bit of damage here, and it's going to start getting snared up as well with a little bit of micro. It could be lights out here. We're actually also seeing Son of Lung coming in as well as the Yodesla for Matador. Going to go down. Oh, one more smack. Another smack. Oh, and it's dead. So the first one down. Town Center is coming up. A couple of Pioneers coming over here to try and put a stop to this. Rappel here. Is he going for an all-in? He hasn't built any buildings yet. Is he going for a Town Center? I'm not sure. It's very late. Matador's fine here. I mean, he can possibly run the one Quailfu away and he's going to be completely fine. More Yodesla actually coming in, though. They do have the Son of Lung, which is huge. To snipe some Deuterinos out. A little bit of miscontrol there from Rappel, but he will be able to snipe down the Yodesla and then get out of there. Great play. Dodging around underneath the town center. Trying to snipe down the Pioneer. Got to be careful. There's a military camp to come down. The Yodesla pulling all the way back to the main base. Villagers coming up over here. Stone walls starting to get spread out. And where to next? The town center for Rappel. So Rappel is almost 4 villages behind here, it looks like. He did get himself out an extra Quailfu, though. Did Matador do that? Yes, he did. Both players are starting to pump those Quailfu out as well. And we are going to be seeing that Rage of Slaughter technology coming through as... I mean, Rappel, if he wants to do this, he's going to have to take a little bit of a risk here. Charging in. Going over this. And he will be able to get straight onto these villagers, though. Getting a couple of villager kills here is going to be huge. 1 villager down. A second villager going to be getting targeted down as well as Matador tries to block that off. He does manage to do so, but in so doing so sacrifices a villager there as well. One more villager almost going down, not able to pick it off as Rappel here can either decide to stay in this base, run around and try and snipe more villagers, or say, okay, that is good damage. Let's get out of here. His Yahtzee screws up. His Yahtzee screws up. I don't know what happened there, but it didn't make it over the wall and it bugged out and jumped straight onto the Pioneer. As he's going to try and just dodge around here. Good control from Matador, getting the shots in. And at this point, it is just dead. I don't know what happened. Basically, you have to shift click when you use that special if you want to do it manually. And whatever happened there for Rappel, he unfortunately didn't get it. As now Rappel coming up onto this side. There are the walls here as well. Does Rappel see it? He does see the walls. Is he going to just go over the wall? I mean, he can. Not a bad idea. He's got 3 yards, so we obviously know what's behind there. He does decide to do so as the villager is going to be retreating back yet again. I mean, I think... Oh, not the best control from Rappel. He doesn't manage to get... Oh, doesn't he? Doesn't he? He's getting close. He gets the Gualfu. Huge snipe from Rappel. And he's going to try and just retreat out over... He could turn around and snipe the other Gualfu. It's probably worth it. Decides against it, pulling back out. There's a couple of units now out for Matador. And Rappel is now gone. Couple of units. Dow Swordsman starting to accumulate here as a response to the Dow Swordsman of Matador. Rappel in a good spot, but Matador here still hasn't gotten himself out his Najar just yet, which is a little bit surprising. He's pumping out Gualfu. Meanwhile, Rappel is doing a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. The villager differential is equal, basically. Slight advantage for Rappel. As the Yahtzee now moving up to the top side, you got to be careful where you enter here. As he comes through and he says, all right, into the main base we go. The villagers will pull off of the wood early, but is it early enough? As the Yahtzee coming through, can he take down a Gualfu? I mean, he can't. He can't take it down. He gets a huge amount of damage done here. But he's now stuck in this position as he's going to be running around. I mean, do you just try and dive in onto this? It looks like he'll go for it. But in doing so, he uses that special. And now the Pioneers are in, looking to try and defend. Rappel sees it and he says, all right, get me out of here. One, not quite, doesn't quite have it on all of them. Can pull up to the very top corner. Just about to have it. We'll see if he can actually get out of here or not. He loses one. The other 2 get out. I think he got the value from that, though, and all of that idle time, to be completely honest. It's now the Dow Swordsmen going after each other over onto this position. The Yahtzee to pull back. Rusho is pre-queued. And there's also a Baihu here. This is gigantic. Does miss on the Dow Swordsman, though, as Matador retreats back. No problems. As the Yahtzee to come through and say, I want to get a little nibble into these Dow Swordsmen if I can. Whoop, 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 whoop. I think you just have to make sure you're like in range significantly. Because if the units are getting out of your max range, it's not going to go or something. Not exactly sure. Anyways, Machine Workshop coming up for Matador. Another Machine Workshop coming up for Rappel. And as Rusho is coming through, I mean, you don't really have to take any fights here. Up onto this side, sniping down units mid-fight is huge. Watchtowers is queued up. It's going to be coming through very, very quickly here. And Rappel's got to be careful with these yards. So the Pioneer and Najar just not that useful because they don't have that speed. And he's just hanging out on this reinforcement line, sort of role-playing like he's playing Norse against Greek from way back in 2007. As he does take a little bit of damage, gets snared up. The Najar does manage to get one shot off. staring yet again, but these guys will be out of here. And immediately, Heroic Age is in. Gilded Shields is coming through. And the Yodesla sneaking back up onto this position, saying, let me in. As he tries to chase after these villagers again, distracting while doing other stuff onto the back here. Snipes a villager, getting away. The Najjar in hot pursuit as the other units are trying to come through here. Meanwhile, Goldman coming in into the main base. The Yodesla want to go into the main base as well. This is dangerous. He loses the other one though. Not able to control both of them, but into the main base he now goes. He's got a villager or a peasant over here he can go after. Matador has to retreat back still. Huge amounts of economic damage coming in here for Matador as Rappel is just roaming around the Pioneers, however, in. Still no ballistics in just yet, so these are basically safe here. As Rappel can either decide to try and snipe a villager and call it a quits, or just pull out, re-heal. He's now at heavy Dow Swordsman. He's got a huge amount of population advantage here. He's got 2 Bayou to start charging forward. He can come down and slap a ballet on the front here and start working in. But here's the thing. He doesn't actually need to win the game here. He's playing Shenong. He's done huge damage. He's so far in front. He can just go to the Mythic Age. Huang Di is an option here. And he says, okay, let me go and grab this position. Let me get some nice siege crossbows out. I'm going to try and push. Where are the villagers, though? He's put the ballet down. He's sending 4 Quaofu in. He also does have the Fey Beasts as well. Keep that in the back of your mind. So the Najjar there gets a couple of shots off onto the Bayou, but that's just going to retreat back. Quaofu are having a little bit of a party there with the military camp as they're deciding to get more military camps up. And Matador at the moment basically just has to sit back and watch as his buildings die because he can't fight this. He literally can't fight this at the moment. These Dow Swordsmen are gigantic. 1 divine damage. Does he have the extra one? Gilded Shields? Yeah, he's got Gilded Shields as well. The ballet up. Rappel can grab this town center as well if he wants to. The Taowu over here gets stunned up there. As the fight going to be commencing. Majority Dow Swordsman in. Can Rappel just win this fight or not is the question. Fey Beasts gets dropped down behind everything as the Dow Swordsman now decide it's time to pull back. The Pioneers are in. They can snipe down those Fey Beasts as well. As Rappel breaking through here. The population plummeting for Matador. 2 siege crossbows to start. Getting huge amounts of damage here. Najjar getting brought back out. The Dow Swordsman numbers very low on the HP. Rappel pumping units. He's getting Bayou. He's getting himself fire archers. He's getting himself cavalry as well. The Dow Swordsmen are working nicely though. There's Matador's town center helping out a lot on the defense, but there's just an overwhelming population differential at the moment as now we see the lightning weapons, both players going to be dropping it at each other here. Town center falls. Another Bayou to start motoring in. And Matador taps out and Rappel will be the one moving forward into the finals to face Kavoth in an epic best of 9. Congratulations here to Rappel. This was an incredibly well played game. He controlled those Yodesla beautifully, completely dominated the Matador position. Matador not having access to Super Dow Swordsman, yet going heavy into them. Maybe not the correct play here, but realistically, what else was his option? Fire Archers and Nubar could have been the way forward for him. But it doesn't matter. It's all over now. Matador can rest easy. Put in a hell of an effort to come third in this tournament. But Rappel will be the one to watch tomorrow. Well, tomorrow, maybe it might be tomorrow for YouTube as well. But tomorrow, Sunday. I don't know what time it's on, but it's going to be on tomorrow. Make sure you tune in and check it out. Great gameplay here from Rappel. Congratulations to him. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you hit the follow. Make sure you hit the subscribe. Make sure you do all the good stuff. And we'll see you guys in the next one.